Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to the Global Update News. I am Emily Morgan. In the past 24 hours, the geopolitical landscape of the world has shown extremely contrasting colors. On one side are terrifying setbacks towards nuclear conflict and new military fronts, while on the other side are efforts to manage crises at the highest levels. The greatest and most concerning threat is perhaps the return of the nuclear specter. Iran has just announced that they are reconstructing their nuclear facilities with multiple strength. This is a direct challenge, and the response from Washington is equally alarming. The U.S. confirms that it is about to conduct a non-strategic nuclear test. Ladies and gentlemen, non-strategic is an extremely dangerous term. This is not a type of intercontinental deterrent weapon, but rather battlefield nuclear weapons designed for use. This move, combined with Iran's declaration, is pushing the Middle East into an unpredictable escalation. And while Washington is considering nuclear weapons, President Trump has just made a controversial decision. He rejected the option of sending Tomahawk missiles to Kyiv. Trump's strategy seems very clear. He is willing to deter at the highest nuclear level, but restrains the provision of long-range conventional weapons to allies, perhaps out of fear of an uncontrollable total war with Russia. But Russia is also facing a painful issue. A tragic story has just been uncovered. North Korean prisoners in Russia are seeking a way out of tragedy and have made a plea to move to South Korea. If confirmed, this would be a severe diplomatic blow, exposing the desperation in the Moscow-Pyongyang alliance. And as old relationships fracture, new ones are being mended. The Central Intelligence Agency, CIA, is reportedly actively healing relations with EU allies after many storms. Clearly, the U.S. understands that to cope with a multipolar world, they need a unified intelligence front. However, ladies and gentlemen, the biggest paradox in the past 24 hours lies in U.S. China relations. Tensions are not easing. President Trump has just issued a stern warning that China understands the consequences if it attacks Taiwan. At the same time, in the South China Sea, intelligence reports indicate that China is deploying the Eye of God, a massive surveillance system to monitor every move of the U.S., Australia, and the Philippines alliance. But this is the major turning point. The U.S. and China, after years of freezing relations, have officially reached an agreement to reopen military hotlines. We must analyze this carefully. This is not peace, but rather the acknowledgement of a new Cold War. Both sides are heavily armed, but they are also sufficiently fearful of a hot war due to miscalculations. This hotline, like the red phone of the Soviet era, is a crucial safety mechanism for managing risks. However, the risk of new fronts is still increasing. President Trump has just hinted at the possibility of deploying ground troops or airstrikes in Nigeria. This becomes particularly serious when the very 2025 Nobel Peace Prize symbol of this country has called for the U.S. to attack its homeland, a move indicating that the humanitarian situation or civil war in Nigeria may have reached catastrophic levels. And in the Americas, tensions are no less. As the U.S. strengthens special forces in the Caribbean, Venezuela immediately retaliated. Caracas has deployed special forces to the border, a clear show of force to deter any intervention from Washington. The world is at a boiling point, from the new nuclear race in the Middle East, stress management in the Pacific, to the risk of military intervention in Africa and the Americas. I am Emily Morgan. Thank you for following. No matter how turbulent the world may be, I wish you and your family always stay safe and calm. If you find this information useful, please hit the subscribe button to continue accompanying us. Goodbye and see you again. History does not repeat itself, but it often rhymes.